Hey everyone, today we're going to do a quick review of what is a sentence. What things do you need to have to make a complete sentence? Well, as you guys know, a sentence is a group of words, but that group of words needs to contain 5 things. And we're going to go over those 5 things today to create a sort of checkoff list for you to use. So the first thing that every sentence has to have is something or someone doing something. And that's called our subject. And in this case, our subject is a gladiator. The second part of a sentence is that that subject, that someone or something, has to be doing something. And that doing something is called our verb, or if you want to get really fancy, our predicate. In this case, the gladiator is charging. So we've got a gladiator and we've got charges. Okay, subject and a verb. Now, every sentence then also needs to start with something very specific. And I bet you're guessing right now that it is a capital letter. To have a good, complete sentence, you need a capital letter. If that's what every sentence starts with, then every sentence also has to end with something pretty specific. And I bet a lot of you are yelling at your iPads right now, a period, period. And you are right, that a sentence needs to end with a period. But that's not all a sentence can end with. A sentence can also end with a question mark or an exclamation point. And those 3 things we call end marks, which makes our number 4 component of what every sentence needs to have. Finally, the 5th and final thing a sentence needs to have is that it needs to be a complete thought. It can't leave the reader hanging. It can't have unanswered questions or leave the reader confused. So far, we have a subject, a gladiator, a verb or predicate, charges. We have a capital letter. We have an end mark, which can include a period, question mark, or exclamation point, and we have a complete thought. Those are the 5 components of a sentence. Okay, so let's practice what we just reviewed. We've got 5 groups of words here. Let's go through our checklist and see what they are missing that is not allowing them to be a complete sentence. First group, 4 people teach English 7. All right, do we have a subject? Yes, we do, 4 people. Do we have a verb? The subject doing something? Yep, they're teaching. So we've got a subject and a verb. How about a capital letter? Nope, there's what we're missing. Group number 2. Mrs. Grodnick is sullen without peanut M&Ms because. All right, subject, who or what? Mrs. Grodnick. What is she doing? Well, she is sullen. Is always a verb, so we do have our verb. Capital letter? Yep. Do we have an end mark? Yes, we do. Now, is it a complete thought? Well, actually, it's not. Mrs. Grodnick is sullen without peanut M&Ms because what? It leaves us hanging, so it's not a complete thought. Number 3, Mr. Ness, leader of our English 7 dynasty, has taught at NJH for 16 years. Subject? Well, that's Mr. Ness. What is he doing? He has taught. There's our verb. And do we have a capital letter? We do. Do we have an end mark? Nope. Therefore, not a complete sentence. Mrs. Yesness, also vicious cross-country coach. Do we have a subject? We do. Mrs. Yesness. Do we have a verb? Is she doing something? She's not. There's no verb, so not a complete sentence. Finally, used to teach humdrum high school English. Do we have a subject? Well, no. Who used to teach humdrum high school English? We're missing a subject. Therefore, not a complete sentence. All right, enjoy. You now know the 5 things that make a complete sentence. Be prepared tomorrow in class to use our checklist, to use your knowledge, and do some practicing. Have a good night.